Unscripted.
You know, it's funny because I feel a small sense of accomplishment after the events of the last couple of days have kind of transpired, and I've kind of gotten out there and been able to talk about some of the things that have been going on. And you know what, as far as I could tell, just for me personally, this is just one of those things that really kind of gets people going, and I'm glad to have kind of done my part. Now listen, I'm just a small little crummy YouTube channel, you know, I'm not really anything special, anything big or anything like that. You know, heck, YouTube doesn't even send out notifications for the most part to any of the content that I do, so it's kind of like farting in the wind, really. But for the most part, you know, I speak my mind, and I always have spoke my mind on this channel, regardless of what people think. You know, people think, oh, well, you started off as an Xbox fanboy. I preferred Xbox for sure. At the time when I was preferring Xbox, they had exclusive games, and I gave Sony hell for that. You know, for the first couple years, they really lacked games, and then, you know, I started to notice they started really coming out with some fantastic games, and then Microsoft really cooled off with their games, and obviously, who knows what their ultimate goal was, but they clearly weren't interested in making games as they were closing down, you know, 6 or 7 studios and canceling games and stuff like that. And then I just noticed that Sony was just doing such a better job just all around with it. So yeah, like pretty impressive with all that. Not only that, but just to kind of say the least is, you know, I just feel that it's so funny that Microsoft is so tone deaf that they basically got eradicated live on air at IGN, at GameSpot, at, you know, just everywhere. You know, YouTubers. It was just so funny to see the amount of people and the outlets that just wasted Xbox, and it was really shades of 2013 was kind of going through my mind. And what I mean by that is Microsoft read the room wrong. For some reason, like in 2013, they thought people wanted to connect and a $500 console, and you know, they thought that people wanted DRM and all this stuff. It was all this stuff that nobody really wanted, and you know, and they paid the price, obviously, with the low sales of Xbox One and stuff like that. And then when you look at what happened now, everybody always thinks that Phil Spencer's like this such a good guy, such a smooth guy, such a, you know, gamer friendly guy, but he's the head of Xbox. That was his move to increase Xbox Live Gold 100%, right? You went from, they removed the option for 1 year gold at $60 last June, and now they made, you know, the 6 months $60. So basically double the price. So if you were a gamer that wanted to play free-to-play games like Warzone, Fortnite, Apex Legends, what have you, right? You had to pay $120 a year at least to access that on Xbox Live. It's the only company that's charging you to pay to play online. Okay, and I kind of made this point the other day. You know, mobile, Switch, PS4, PS5, PC, Windows, none of those are charging you to play free-to-play games online. And, you know, Microsoft has reversed course, and I think that's a big thanks to a lot of the people that called them out. Now, don't let it confuse you. Not everybody actually called them out. There was a lot of people, there was a lot of influencers that were very soft on the issue and made it out to be not a very big deal. Listen, it's a huge deal. We're in the middle of a pandemic, right? Things are so uncertain. People are out of jobs. And I understand that gaming is a hobby and, you know, it's kind of always expensive. I understand that, but why make things worse? You know, there's such a thing as timing, and there's also such a thing as, you know, a little bit of a warning. And I don't understand what Microsoft was thinking. Here's the thing, and let's just be real with this, okay? Microsoft, or Xbox in particular, not Microsoft, Xbox in particular is a brand that's in dead last place. Dead last place. They have no right to dictate anything to anybody. That's the funny part, right? They're out here trying to dictate what they can and can't do, and you know what should happen and what shouldn't happen. That's never supposed to be the case. You're in last place. You're supposed to pay attention to your fans. If the fans had been outraged over not having an exclusive game in 505 days, a AAA exclusive, then maybe we would have had one. Okay, if people would have reacted the same way. But it's like, so many people just skirt that issue, and they'll go, well, I did bring this up like one time, 3 years ago at a birthday party that, they're not really having any exclusive games, and that sucks. That's not the point. If there was outrage like what we saw on Twitter and all the sites and stuff like that yesterday, then we would maybe have seen something, right? This is something that takes time, and I understand that they are, quote unquote, fixing the issue, right? I understand that they're fixing the issue in 3 to 5 years, okay? But you also have to understand that they've literally were building and thinking about this Xbox Series X for 5 years, okay? So you would figure in that amount of time, why on earth wouldn't you want to sort of get some sort of way out there to basically go out there and kind of showcase that you have a game, buy content for people, right? You can either buy content for people, or if you can't buy it, then why not go ahead and, at the very least, I would think that if you could go out there and sort of make it, right? Like if you knew like if I was Microsoft and I'm building this console, the most powerful console ever, and we're sort of coming off a situation where, they think that power matters, and they already have the 1X in the pipeline or whatever, and the 1X already got kind of crapped on because it had lackluster games and no titles at launch. And I know this 5 years away. Why on earth wouldn't you absolutely go out there and make sure you have some kind of content for it? Whether it's timed content, whether you make it, whether you buy it, whether you've leased the whatever, right? You really have to go out there and sort of hit that nail on the head. The fact that places like IGN and GameSpot and, even former Xbox employees like Mikey Barra and, huge Xbox sites like Windows Central, you have all these different sites and all these different areas that are basically, pro Xbox to the death of them, and they're out there calling out Xbox. Like, how tone deaf are you if that's what you think? See, this is my thing, right? I'm not going to thank Microsoft for reversing course, right? That's like, somebody, that's like a bank robber robs a bank, and then later, after they get caught and called out for it, apologizing, right? I just don't really think that works very well. If you made the decision, then you're kind of stuck with it. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand how people can think any other way around it. Like, they made the decision to do that. That was all them. And at the end of the day, it really kind of comes down to kind of what people kind of want to do and what people kind of want to see. So again, they were the ones that did that. As the last place people, they were the ones that did it. They backtracked for sure. And this was their exact comment. We messed up today, and you were right to let us know. Connecting with players, with friends, is a vital part of gaming, and we failed to meet the expectations of players who count on it every day. And as a result, we have decided not to change Xbox Live Gold pricing. We're turning this moment into an opportunity to bring Xbox Live more in line with how we see the player at the center of their experience. For free-to-play games, you will no longer need an Xbox Live Gold membership to play those games on Xbox. We are working hard to deliver this change as soon as possible in the coming months. If you are an Xbox Live Gold member already, you stay at your current price for renewal. New and existing members can continue to enjoy Xbox Live Gold for the same prices they pay today: $9.99 for 1 month, $24.99 for 3 months, $39.99 for 6 months, and $59.99 retail for 12 months. Again, this was a huge thing that they had to do because at the end of the day, Sony was capitalizing on this move. You had so many people saying that they were going to, switch to PlayStation, and I think that you have to question, like I questioned this yesterday, right? Does Microsoft actually hate their console owners? Because they treat them like crap, right? Like, it's like a bad relationship. You literally get smacked around by Microsoft. Microsoft smacks you around, and we come back for more. And I scratch my head sometimes. I want them to do well so that there's competition, but it's like they don't learn. They're so stupid. They just do not learn that gamers aren't stupid. Like, gamers are very smart. And I do think that it's something that gamers don't get enough credit for, right? Like, we know. We're not ignorant. This isn't 25, 30 years ago where most of us we all have the internet and smartphones and all this kind of stuff, so we know You know, we know what's what, and the fact of the matter is that we don't get enough credit as gamers for being able to pick this stuff out, right? Like, listen, I don't think that it takes a genius to understand that, you know, as gamers, none of us are sitting here looking for, you know, again, and I understand some people really like cloud gaming or whatever, but for the most part, I think the average gamer, and especially the average hardcore gamer, whether it be PC or console, doesn't want to give up that piece of hardware. Doesn't really care about playing a laggy, you know, game, you know, in that type of situation, you know, and I think that that's exactly like sort of what we're seeing here, right? Like, gamers are speaking up, and everything's turning out for the better. That, look what happens when we actually do speak up, folks. Like, you should look around. Like, I can't tell you who to watch, right? Obviously, I'm just a small channel. People say I'm a dead channel or whatever. Sure, that's fine, that's fair enough. My channel's been dead and come back and dead and come back. It is what it is, you know. YouTube pulls me like a puppet. It kind of is what it is, you know. I have fun with it. I'm not gonna stop doing it just because whatever reason. But at the same time, if you're a gamer who looks to influencers on YouTube, I would say look to the ones that were very soft on the issue. Okay, whether it be social media or otherwise, and then ask yourself, why were they soft on the issue? What do they have to gain from it? And they probably have a lot to gain from it. They probably got a free Xbox from Microsoft, or they probably get free stuff from Microsoft, right? If that's, like, they're bought and paid for. You know, that's why, like, for me personally, I love small YouTubers, because they're much more honest about stuff, you know, and that's just how I kind of feel about it. I will, of course, link this. I'm happy that Microsoft reversed course, but at the same time, I'm not going to, you know, thank them and congratulate them when it was their mess to begin with. Let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.